orchards in the local area. But when they withdraw all that incentive support, so the farmers, they were left on their own. And most of the farmers then realized that all these tea gardens and tea orchards, they are not compatible with the high value agricultural crops, especially the horticultural crops in the region. And unfortunately, most of those plantations were removed by those growers from that area. But luckily, we have at the moment, we have some plantation, which is also very much significant. And by the time we were starting this project, so most of the Pakistani colleagues within the government, within the private sector, even in the development sector, all of them, they were a bit skeptical, and they were telling us that probably tea might not be a viable business in Pakistan. That might not be that much practical venture within the country. And we took this challenge, and I took this challenge along with my senior leadership, who is sitting today here, with my provincial leadership, as well as our national tea consultants, Professor Dr. Jamal Saab, also Dr. Khurshid Saab, Dr. Sami Saab, and Dr. Hamid Saab. And lastly, then we engaged Mr. Johnson, who rightly now he provided you a presentation on the tea and the aspects he explored about Pakistani tea viability. So we engaged him, and with the assistance of him, because he was having a lot of international experience within the tea sector. He has worked mostly in all those countries where tea is grown and tea is cultivated. So by having that international experience with us, he helped us and he positions the Pakistani tea, that if we are going to the tea business in Pakistan, we are basically going to the commercialization of this tea in Pakistan. So how we will position our product? What will be our niche in the local market as well as in the international markets? So in this presentation, if we talk about the importance of tea for Pakistan, why tea is that much important for Pakistan? So there are a few aspects. Like tea in Pakistan is more than a mere drink. It's culturally woven into our daily life, in our social fabric. With this 1.04 kg per capita consumption per annum, tea is a shared experience that connects people and communities within the country. Also across Pakistan's diverse cultures, a cup of tea transcends boundaries and brings people together. In marketplaces, offices, in homes, the simple act of making tea creates connections and improves connectivity. So the chai dabas, and especially these days, you might have seen the Quetta chai, which are scattered throughout the landscape, throughout the country. They are basically the communal hubs where people from all walks of life gather to exchange ideas, discuss politics, or simply unwind and relax. So the familiar aroma of tea has accompanied Pakistan's through celebration and difficult times alike, becoming an enduring part of our nation's cultural identity. And despite of all these, significance and importance of tea, Pakistan has historically relied on the tea imports, where exploration of the domestic cultivation offers several promising avenues. So the country possesses diverse geographical regions suitable for tea cultivation, particularly in the eastern and northern parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, with favorable altitude and climate condition. So thus investing in domestic tea cultivation not only has the potential to reduce dependency on import, but can contribute to the rural development by providing employment opportunities and boosting the agriculture sectors within the country. Now, besides all these cultural significances and cultural importance of tea for Pakistan, if you look at the economic side, so Pakistan is importing annually more than 600 million US dollars of tea, where the total tea which we are bringing to the country and we are consuming on annual basis, the quantum is 252,000 tons. It's a huge quantity. And then our dependency is mostly on the import, because in the country, the tea production is very less, and 99% or more than 99%, we are dependent on the tea import in Pakistan. While we were launching this project, the TTCP project, So we were having these objectives in mind because we were tasked that we have to assess the suitable areas in the country. We have to come up with a GIS-based catalog at national, provincial, and district level. And we have to form and map the tea clusters in all the potential areas, identification and mapping of the suitable areas for the tea estates, and also economic analysis in development of a strategy, which we have unveiled in today's workshop. And then policy recommendations in enabling environment on which we have worked a lot. We have engaged the federal government as well as the provincial government. Especially in KP, we have engaged the KP BOIT, Board of Investment and Trade, and the Department of Industries. And they are willing now to house the first ever tea development board in the industry departments within KP at the provincial level. So if we look at the progress highlights, so we have made the GIS-based mapping, and we have come up with all those suitable areas. We have already, like say, all the potential areas, like districts of Mansehra, district of Battagram, Sawat, Shangla, Buner, and Upper Dir, etc. We have also conducted the soil surveys in those areas and the ground truthing, because whatever we got from the satellite, all the information, then at the local level, we went there and we verified and endorsed all those information at the local level. And then the tea estate development, so 6 sites in 2 districts, Mansehra and Battagram, for the tea estates development. And this tea estates is generally, when we are talking about the tea estates, so we are talking the plus 100 acres area, one piece of this area. So those have been identified. And formation of the tea cluster, so for the tea cluster, we have also identified suitable areas in all those districts. And then the policy and best practices. So for this, we have not only worked on the tea development board, we have also engaged the forest department of government of KP. We have also engaged the culture and tourism department of government of KP, the agriculture department government of KP. And to everyone, we have oriented them in a manner that what role they will have by the time when they will be engaging, private sector will be engaged. So how we will be going to give them, they will be leasing the government lands to them, the communal lands for them. So on all these aspects during this strategy formation, we have worked. If you look now at the geographical levels of analysis, so we started from the national level. And at the national level, you see that the 3 criteria were elevation, temperature, and precipitation. Then when we came to the provincial level, so we like look at the slope, the land cover, no builds up in those areas, no dense forest in those like say potential areas, no agriculture flat lands, and proximity to the roads, which is also very much important. And at the district level, then again, we look at the soil suitability, visualization by the high resolution imagery, distance from the settlements in population places, and grid by grid selection of the area, for which we prepare the polygons at the local level, determining that how much area is available, that area is suitable, and how that area can be accessed, along with the availability of water in those regions. Then this picture is very important because we are starting from the national level, and from the national level, this information is given by the GIS mapping. And here again, you see temperature, precipitation, and elevation are the main criteria for determining the suitable areas for tea cultivation. When we are coming again to, like say further, so we look at the topography and slope, exclusion of very flat and very steep lands. So then you see here the area is a bit more and the area here is reducing. Then we are looking at the land cover. Here we are excluding the builds-up, the dense forest, and we are looking at the water in agriculture flat lands. So when we excluded that, so the area was further decreased. And then proximity to the roads, which is also very important. And for this, we have taken that sites must be within 5 kilometers of roads. Because if there are tea gardens and if there are tea plantations, so we are required that by the time we are pruning and we are harvesting the leaves, that leaves has to be taken to the local industry within 3 to 4 hours. So if the areas are inaccessible, they are quite far flung, so then that criteria cannot be met. And here you see that all that work that when we were talking about the area, suitable area. So this area at the moment, 0.7 million acres in KP. At the moment, this area is available. And this area, when we talk about this area, so this is that area where we have excluded flatlands, where we have excluded all those areas where topsoil is not existing. We have excluded all those areas where pH is not suitable of the. So these are the suitable areas, and these are all those polygons. So on the satellite, when we are going to these areas, they can exactly tell us, okay, which polygon, how much area is available, what are the GPS coordinates for that. So for the investor, it has now become very easy that whenever they would like, all the information are readily available for them to decide. And then this is the economic analysis for 1 acre, because when our senior management also, they task us that, oh, you have to come up with the economic analysis of this, because if somebody is coming and they want to invest in the tea plantation sector, they will the first thing they will look at the economic analysis. So tea, as you see that in the first 4 years, this is the cost. And then this tea business, like say if we have plantations, so the full-fledged, like say return of all those orchards will be starting in the year 8. So here you see that this is the cost of production per acre. Because so many people were interested that FAO has to provide us all those areas, that what type of investment we will be needing, that investment will be required in which particular areas, and how much will be that cost. And this is becoming now, because today my Chinese colleagues, they are also here, and probably they'll be very much interested to invest in this area, because they have already communicated to us, they have already discussions with us, and we can provide all these information to them that, okay, in the local area, what type of areas are available, where they can establish the tea states, where they can establish and develop the tea cluster, etc. And the economic analysis is also available for this. Yeah. And this is the barren land suitable for tea cultivation. So in the entire country, you see, this is KP, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, Azad Jammu and Kashmir in Punjab. So this is the suitable area in acres. At the moment, we have 9 lakh and 4,000, more than that, this area is available. But suitable area in hectares at the moment is this area, because we have only taken 30% of the available land, because some of the areas might not be accessible. In some areas, the topsoil will be a challenge. In some areas, the pH of the soil will also be a challenge, because if the pH of the soil is very high, so in those areas, then we cannot grow and we cannot cultivate tea plantation. So here we see the tea state development plan. So all these are the factors that if somebody is interested, some investors are interested, some tea companies have the willingness to come forward and to invest in the tea plantation. So for their tea estate development, they have to look at all these, that conditions suitable for tea cultivation, including temperature and rainfall, adequate soil depth for the root development and nutrients uptake, ideal slope range for tea cultivation, and optimum pH, because more than 6.5 pH, those areas might not be that suitable. And then the total size and potential production capacity of the estate, accessibility to the main roads, sufficient water sources for irrigation, because water availability is also very important, because in areas where we don't have water availability, we cannot, like say, arrange water for the tea orchards and plantations, especially in the development phase of those orchards. In those areas, then the tea estate development might be just a dream and that cannot be materialized. Again, ownership status and legal aspects are very important. Altitude, rain, conducive to optimal tea cultivation. This is also very economic, and economic viability, considering the market demand, production, cost, as well as profitability. All these are the factors and the aspects which an investor has to consider when someone decides to invest in the establishment of a tea estates at the local level. An economic analysis of the area, because for example, we took one area, and that area is area in Mansera. So we have given all these details initial investment for the first 4 years, and then also operation cost for the 5 years onward, and average annual profit, which might be starting in the year 5, and payback period will be 7.5 years. So that's the reason that when we are talking about tea, most of the small holder farmers at the local levels, when they look at these challenges, so they are apparently then they are looking towards the federal government as well as toward the provincial government and towards the donors and to organizations like FAO and other development agencies in Pakistan. So believe me that this exemplary work, which we have, this analytical work which we have completed under this project, this has now provided the basis for all those, for the policymakers, for the provincial and the federal governments, for the investors, for the tea companies, etc., that now they have a very clear roadmap. And Johnson in his presentation, he highlighted that, okay, if Pakistan wants to position its tea, not only for the domestic use, but it was in the international market. So from where we can start and how we will start. And the one good thing which is very, promising in case of Pakistan, that the leaves we will be getting in Pakistan, especially in the eastern and northern region of KP, in the month of March to April, that is a very high quality, leaves. And the tea which we'll be getting from that, no other tea in all the tea producing countries might be compatible with that. And we can have that edge for our tea in this area, especially for the orthodox tea in Pakistan. So I'm inviting the attention of the investors that if they like to come forward and they have to, grab these opportunities, this is a good time for them to invest in tea in Pakistan. And then the initial investment on tea estates. So again, we have provided all these information just for the understanding, because I'm not going to the nitty-gritties of these information, because in the Excel sheets, we have more detailed information on this, on these economic analysis and profitability, etc., gestation period, etc. But these are only, the key information, which are very much required for the policymakers, for the investors, and for the other decision makers, that whenever they would like to invest in tea or to promote tea in Pakistan, they have to take into consideration all these important elements. And then formation of the tea clusters. For the tea cluster, you see that this is all the good work which our top level national consultant, they have carried out in the country. They have come up with very clear vision, with very clear, information, and they're providing every minor details of the areas where tea can be profitable for us. And then one important thing is this, that since in Pakistan, all those areas which are potential areas for tea production, they are along the CPEC corridor. And we have talked to the KP government, especially to the tourism department, and they were very much interested, especially the secretary of the tourism department, they wanted to integrate this tea cultivation into their programs, because they have also determined some zones for the tourism development in KP, and they would like to, to promote tea plantation in those areas. So development of tea tourism strategy, integration of the tea estates with the KP tourism zones, integration with the CPEC corridor. Potential areas are Indu, Tunaran, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Mansehra, and Kalam, Malam Jaba, and Swat, and integration with the Kalam, Kaghan, and other development authorities, which we have fortunately in the province. So this was this was a brief orientation and some information which we were considering that they are very pertinent for the participants of this workshop. After this presentation, which was mainly focusing on the key information, our 3 or 4 lead consultants, they'll be talking about their specific sectors, what they have done and how they have carried out their work. So then, in the next session, inshallah, you will hear more about this activity. Thank you so much.